Hello, everybody. Well, that's an unsatisfactory start to tonight because I can't get my camera to rotate the right way, and I can't find the kit that I was going to be talking about. Apart from that, it's going pretty well.
Evening, all.
Yeah, COVID brain.
All going swimmingly my end, by the way. I just turned my computer on and hit go, and it's all working. So,
nobody likes a smart Alec.
So
anyway,
PCs, they just work.
Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the interesting modelling company Midweek Revue.
You need a good PC, you do.
Sorry?
You need a good PC. Anyway, evening all.
What's that? Return to the old day job, was it?
Yeah, I thought that as I said it. I went, no, don't do
Evening
all.
Well, welcome to the Midweek Review anyway. I'm going to try and do the thing I was going to do tonight. But in the meantime, Drew, what have you been up to this week?
A10ing.
A10ing.
A10ing, yes. Not really, but it's one of those things. I haven't even started painting the interior yet. So
right,
it's one of those things where you're kind of just, working through. I have to say, really, really nice sub-assemblies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit of filler needed on the back edge of the underside of the flaps there after you've assembled them and stuff like that. But this is all really, minor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit irritating that the flaps aren't made to be deployed, but they do locate into the wings and look very much like the real thing when it's at rest. With
talking of filler, fill in for a few minutes.
Oh, he's off.
No.
He's off. He's had all day to prepare, and here we are. So yes, and the engines. What you're seeing inside there is the phase hanger resin engine detail parts, which are just phenomenal. I have to say, although I have to say that the engine fans are beautifully rendered, but very, very easy to damage. So this is super highly recommended as a set, but do be aware that some parts of it are incredibly fragile. But these engines, as you can see, there's like there's 4 points of location for the hot section of the engine itself, including guide rails up here. Let's see if I can bring you in a second. There's a pair of no, that's all right. I'm looking for something else. So there's a pair of guide rails here that locate onto the bits, the protrusions that the kit part fits between. And then you've got 3 other location parts here, and it's a friction fit and slides in there. And just a few dabs of super glue once it's all been built and painted. But I have to say that the actual detail on this part here, on these replacement parts from Phase Hanger, Richard Van Zant's designed these. It is just mind-bogglingly good. So if you're looking for a replacement for your engine detail parts of the A10, which aren't the best part of the kit, they're not awful, but they this is a really, really nice upgrade set. And these engine faces, you can see I've started painting them. The engine faces has even got I don't know if you can see that as I catch it with a light, but it's even got the engine, the sort of boundary layer relief holes molded in there. and that locates in there by friction fit as well. So that's now in there by a friction fit. But like I say, one thing to bear in mind, and I'm gonna have to go back and fiddle with these a little bit, is that the engine blades themselves, you can actually see through them into the engine. That's how finely they're molded, but it does make them extremely fragile and easy to damage if you're not careful. But the way these parts just this back end here is a friction fit into this part here, and in fact you can almost do that. It's a absolutely perfect fit here. I can barely feel the join line there as I run my finger across it. So yeah, these can't recommend them high enough. The engine fans there, the center parts, spinners, just drop into place there. So trying to maneuver that one in, so they'll just drop into place like so, and they're correctly sized, as opposed to the kit parts, which are let's see if I can find one. As opposed to the kit parts, which you can see are significantly undersized by comparison. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. I mean, my sort of my modification to the kit parts for deepening them has worked really well, actually. But when you've got detail parts like Richard's designed for my kit phase hanger, it would be remiss of me not to use them, shall we say? So yeah, and the rest of it is just at the moment it's just bringing all the sub assemblies together, and removing all the detail and stuff, which I think I'd already done on Sunday, to be honest. Crazy Loca there, what do you recommend for the ejection seat? This is the Ares Aces Too Late. So for the aircraft that I'm building, which is sort of 2021, the anniversary one, it's got the sheepskin covering for the cushions, rather than the fabric of the other ones. And I've also got some Kits World did some 3D printed seat belts, which I've got, and I'm going to see how they look. Yeah, Dave, I don't know what it is with this. I mean, generally speaking, this kit is absolutely beautiful, but the engines, it really feels like it's the one area they've kind of dropped the ball a little bit, and it's not nearly as it's not nearly as good as the rest of the kit. So I've been sort of gluing other parts together and stuff like that. And whether this is right or I end up getting caught out, what I've done is I've glued the lower plate here onto one side of the fuselage. And so with the, he says, trying to find the interior that he's just, so the interior will locate in there like so, with the instrument panel in there, and that'll all go together. And let's say, I mean, you see the fit there for the most part it's pretty much a click fit, especially with the interior in there, and then the nose cone will pop on the end there. A little bit that, I mean, it's that none of the refueling door detail is on the nose here, which is a little bit odd, but I have to say that that's always got a large marking on there anyway, so I'm not actually particularly inclined to do any scribing on there. And don't forget with A10s, people, if you are building this kit, there's a lot of room along here and here and in here for nose weight, and you are going to need it because the A10 is a classic tail sitter. So do avail yourself, shall we say, of that space. So with the nose cone on there, you can see there's still loads and loads of room to get plenty of weight in there, all down here above next to the wheel bay, and then immediately behind the cockpit here. So yeah, I don't see there being any problem getting enough nose weight in, but just be aware that it's an A10. You will need plenty. So overall, thus far, I still remain hugely impressed with it overall, and especially for the money. You know, this is 36, 37 pounds. This is. If anybody saw my my modelling page, they'll know that I had a second one turn up on Monday that I'd completely forgotten I'd ordered. So I went to Scale Model Shed on Saturday and grabbed one there from Andy, I believe it is, at Scale Model Shed, and then on Monday one turned up from Jadlam, and I had to do a quick scout back through my bank statements, and then found out that I'd pre-ordered one in the first couple of days of February and promptly forgotten about it because I'd paid for it and then forgotten about it. So I had another one turn up this week. So I've now got two of these, which is not the end of the world. David, I will be using the Master Models replacement etch and turn brass barrels, which I believe are waiting for me at the post office right now. There was a delivery today I wasn't at home to pick up, so I'll have to go tomorrow and pick that up. But I think that's a substantial penance package, care package, shall we say? So yeah, you can see it's all coming together very, very nicely, and that's been my last couple of days, really. I haven't
your preoccupation.
Well, no, I mean, my preoccupation is actually to be a little bit nerdy over the last couple of days has been trying to get the continuously computed release point on the DCS F16 to work properly, which has been a significant challenge and has actually annoyingly kept me from the A10, because you get really, like you are with the camera, when something doesn't work, you just get frustrated with it and have to make it work and spend hours researching and stuff. And this is a video game, for crying out loud, and you get frustrated. And there we were, but I appear to have sorted it today, so it's back to the A10. So now my CBU 97 combined effects munitions are landing where I want them to.
Jolly good. I can't find my car keys.
Well, you can't find anything, can you?
I don't. It's honestly, my brain has just seized up today. It's shocking. It really is. They'll turn up somewhere. I mean, I'm just they're around here somewhere.
Well, they can't be anywhere because you've obviously driven the car home, haven't you? It's not like you've taken them out
exactly. And
left them.
So there is something in the car that I was going to talk about, but unless I can get to the car, I can't. I know. It's hilarious, isn't it?
Why did you not bring it in?
Because when I pulled up outside, I was desperate to go to the loo. So I thought I'd leave it in the car.
So the car keys are in the toilet then?
No, I've been up to the loo and I can't find them up there. Anyway, look, let's not worry about my car keys. I'll worry about my car keys. I forgot what I was going to say now. God almighty. I know, it's not funny. It's not funny.
It's quite funny.
It's quite funny. It's this COVID brain fog, honestly. Anyway, so now I've completely forgotten what I was going to talk about. I've honestly forgotten what I was going to talk about. This one won't be staying up tonight. Let's put it that way. So this will be a.
Why not? Why not? I think I've done a sterling job in your mental absence.
Yeah, literally a mental absence. I I've forgotten what I was going to say. Honestly, my brain has just gone filling again, and I'll see if I can go and find the thing I was going to
Good
talk about.
Lord.
Have the stage all to yourself. Come on.
Come on, then, people. Over
Come
to
on.
you, people. Ask what can we talk about, then, people?
Apart from my obviously senility.
Yeah, well, obviously we're booking the ambulance as we speak. But yeah, I see the Sky Crane did actually make it out to shops on Monday, and they've been turning up in people's hands now. So I'm thus far managing to resist a 1/35 scale Sikorsky Sky Crane, and which I wouldn't have done if it had been 48 scale, to be fair. But there you go. Had to change a light bulb on my wife's Focus. I remember changing a light bulb on a Focus back in about 2007. I don't remember it being a very pleasant experience, actually, but not as bad as it was on the Peugeot 206. Is there any way to get phase hanger resin parts in this country without losing a kidney? I bluntly, no. I know that Hanants have had some in the past. But Mike's struggling. Mike is so busy that he can't fulfill like vendor orders, if you like. He can't fulfill orders from outside vendors. He's too busy printing for his own business. So I think Mike does actively, try to keep the postage and packing costs, at cost, if you like. So the costs incurred, he's not making any money off of you with that. So bearing in mind how good the bits are, my best advice is, you really need to bite the bullet and just say, yes, I will. Excuse me. I am going to buy these parts. But certainly for a lot of the stuff that Mike does, you're not going to regret it. He's doing some amazing work with his designers, and not just because I've designed a couple of bits for him that you can get from his site, but the other, people like Richard Van Zandt are just that they are world-class designers of 3D printed parts. So bite the bullet. And buy them, but sadly, Mike's moving away from supplying vendors because he just can't afford. They place huge orders at a time, which he struggles to fulfill. Alan Richardson, the early versions of Euro 1 paint on F4G Phantoms was the only change tan to grey, and the two greens were not changed. Yeah, that's correct. Literally, it was the tan was replaced with 36081. And the other two colours are 34079 and 34102, which is a standard Southeast Asia colours. So the 34092 never made. I think I'm sure there was one F4D testing from Edwards Air Force Base that was completely repainted in proper Euro 1 colours. But other than that, they were all basically the Southeast Asia wraparound scheme, just with the tan replaced with grey. So what we Edward Zero kit report. There's nothing I can say about it. It's fabulous. Edward Zeros are absolutely magnificent models, and the decals are garbage. There you go. So I'm just trying to run through the questions that I've been asked. Have you built the new Airfix Meteor F8 from Dave Fleming? Dave, I haven't even got one. Haven't even looked in the box. Just not crossed my path as yet. I've no doubt I will get one at some point.
I'm sure if you kick up a stink tonight, you'll definitely get one. So
I've never even got a Tempest. So and I love the Tempest. Yes, Pavel says there, free shipping worldwide if you order over $100 worth of stuff from Mike at Phase Hanger. And to be fair, if you sort of build your shopping list up over a month or two and then order it in one go, breaking $100 with Mike isn't going to be terribly challenging. Which is a really good deal. So I'm trying to look through here, and Andy Brennan says, "Fair enough, Drew, and thanks." Fair enough for what? What did I do? What did I do?
I take that.
Right. There you go. Sorry, it was Andy who asked about the getting face hanger resin parts. Yeah, I'm afraid, Andy, that you will have to bite the bullet. But Mike does make it as painless as he possibly can. Oh, look, you found something.
Yeah, I got the camera to work again now.
And it's snap fit.
Yeah, shall we snap into this, and I'll tell a story.
See what you've got your camera the right way around now.
I know, I don't know what's happened, but there we go. Right. What we'll do is we'll have a quick chat about this.
Go on.
Go
full screen. There you go.
Right, because I was in Clevedon on Tuesday to go and see a new chiropractor, and next door to the chiropractors is a little shop that sells models. Ooh. So I went in there and had a look and see what they had, and they had this, and this is our friends ICM, and this was $12.99. It's a snap fit 72nd scale kit of a Mercedes World War II German staff car. I think it's the best way of putting that. Although these were used quite a lot in the Wehrmacht, but I'm sure.
Yes, it's not. It wasn't a one-trick pony, was it? By any?
No, but I'm sure we have all been aware of, a famous
certain usage.
Yeah, certain usage. Hasegawa kit from the 1970s. Anyway, look, I haven't even had a peek inside the box here at the moment. So that's what I'm going to do at the moment. He said, looking for a knife. Goodness me, Modeler doesn't have knife shocker. There we go. This was $12.99, so I think that's reasonable value for money. I think that's excellent value for money, actually. And I'm just curious to see what it is, because I'll get to build a Mercedes staff car, and it's ICM. They're pretty good stuff. So here we go.
They're one of our favourites at the moment, ICM.
They are one of our favourites indeed. And also, another model shop another local model shop right next door to the chiropractors. So that's always good value. Like the packaging, very good, very, very nice packaging.
I mean, ICM packaging is fabulous, isn't it? I mean, you remember the super flimsy Revell packaging.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
And,
right. So what do we have here? And we have what? That looks nice and simple. I'm sure even I could build that in the space of an evening. Not going to build it tonight, but I'm going to chuck it together this week for giggles.
Well, it looks like something that could almost is one of those literally a painting exercise, isn't it?
It is literally a painting exercise. We got some. Actually, I'm just trying to see whether they are rubber tires or whether they're like a hard plastic. I'm sure they are rubber, but oh my goodness me! Come on, man. They are. You get metal axles as well, which is jolly good.
I guess it's one of those snap fit thingies, isn't it?
It's a snap fit kit. Yeah, they are rubber tires, but they're serviceable. They're serviceable.
I don't find it. I mean, I think the thing is, rubber tires today aren't like rubber tires of yore.
No,
they tend to be a lot. They tend to be a lot better. We don't have the chemical reactions that we used to have, and all that fun stuff. So I don't really. I don't view getting rubber tires in a model these days as particularly negative.
No, the one thing I would say about these are, and I don't know whether you can pick these up on the camera, is they do come with some flashy kind of mold seams around the edges. So that's going to be a little bit tricksy to get rid of because you can't really sand these. But we will rock you. We will be casting around for ideas and solutions for how you get to deal with these. I know some people say freeze them and then, you know, sand them off, but not a deal breaker. You know, we can find a way of sorting those out. But that's quite nice. What have we got here? We've got that's the oops daisy. That's the sprue with the clear parts. So I'm not going to take those out, but that does look efficient. I think it's a good way of putting it. And then we have the kit itself. And that is very smartly appointed. I mean, that's...
You know, if you're looking at that here, that doesn't look like a snap-tight kit, does it?
No, I'd say that's... It'd be interesting to see what the Hasegawa kit was like back in the 70s, 60s and 70s. 70s would be the 70s. But that does look rather tidy. And it's got an engine. Yes. I mean, that's going to go together in literally the space of an evening. But that does look jolly good. And then you've got the tarp for the for the rear section. I'm just having a look. There's no real sink marks on this. There's no real sink marks on any of this, actually. It's beautifully done. It's got to be said. And it's a hard plastic as well. And the detail is incroyable, as fans of my other show know I'm wont to say quite a bit. I like this. Obviously, you know, I don't like the subject matter because it's a, you know, it's horrible Nazi staff car. But I do like it does look like a tidy kit. And yeah, I'm going to be chucking this together just to see, well, just for giggles, really. And then we've got the instructions. Goodness me, this is, for a snap together kit, this is a big thick Bible, frankly.
Yeah, it's a full set of instructions, isn't it? It's not like you know, like you sometimes find with these sorts of kits where the instructions are on the back of the box and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not like it's kind of like, you know, how to how can I put it? Kind of like cornflake assembly, kind of like instructions. So what have we got there? Blum, 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 blum. That's all the interior. Blah, 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 blah. More interior. Beautifully done. I mean, it's beautifully illustrated. Can't fault ICM for their instructions at all. That's lovely. That's lovely. Then we get on to oops, daisy. We've got another page. There's the doing the wheels and the chassis and everything. Jolly good. Then, God, another page. And what have we got there? That's interior and the steering column and the tarp and everything. Yeah, okay. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Radiator. The engine. Goodness me, that's really quite... for a snap together kit, this is really quite... what's the word I'm looking for? Comprehensive, because it would be very easy just to do... not to bother with half of this stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that's the point, isn't it? Is it it's a snap tight kit, but it's kind of two modern standards of detail.
Yeah, and then we've got the exhaust there, and then we've got the wheels and the suspension and the metal rods for the wheels as well. Goodness me. Then, oh God, and there's more still. Do you know what? It's amazing how many steps there are to this instruction sheet, because it doesn't seem to be that much in the kit. But and then you've got the steering rods and everything, and yeah, blah 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 blah. Oh, another page. What have we got there? We've got the gear sticks. Then we've got the seats. I'm gonna have a big sneeze in a minute. Then finally, we've got the clear bits and everything. Bear with me. Oh, dearie me. I know. Another page. And then we've got spare wheels, blah, 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 blah. Yep, that's all. This is a comprehensive, that's a comprehensive kit. Then, another page. Then we have the color schemes, which I get the feeling they're all going to be kind of what have we got there? Yeah,
Grey,
exactly.
grey.
Yeah. So yes, we've got. Well, thankfully, they all appear to be Wehrmacht. I've got to be said, I do like the dark grey one. I think that is pretty cool. Well, not pretty cool, pretty dreadful. But as a colour scheme, I that's quite interesting. Let's put it that way. Although I get the feeling that is the one as well. So, yeah. But I mean, all those pages for what is essentially that kit. That is quite a package. I mean, now that I've got the kit in front of me again, it doesn't look like there really is that much to it.
No, it's quite simple, isn't it?
It's quite simple. Whether I get around to painting this or whether I do a gen and just literally assemble it and, put it in primer. But it's got to be said, ICM knocking it out the park with their vehicle kits. That's quite a staggering little model.
ICM are knocking it out of the park with anything they do these days.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Really.
That is. I mean, I paid $12.99 for that. That is absolutely stunning. And to be honest with you, I'm just going to have a quick look online. Bear with me a second. Uno momento, per favore. Mercedes staff car, because I'm just having a look to see how much the Hasegawa kit is these days, and I get the funny feeling that it's not going to be that much cheaper, because Hasegawa kits do tend to be slightly kind of highly priced. But let's just have a quick look here. I'm just having a look. Oh, for goodness sake, I can't find them now. So that's annoying, isn't it? So surely somebody in the UK.
I was going to say, I'm not sure. Is it available?
Well, let's just try shopping. Oh, for goodness sake, come on. Mercedes G4 W31, Hasegawa Mercedes G4 W31. Right, let's try that. Let's have a look. eBay.
I'm not even sure if they have a UK importer now.
No, by the looks of things, they are. The Hasegawa kit is round about the same price, really. Yeah, weird. But obviously, the ICM kit is much more modern. But anyway,
there's over 4 decades between them, isn't there? So.
Anyway, what we'll do is, oops.
Oh, hello.
I know. There we go. Yeah, I'm, as always with ICM, I am mahusively impressed with that. And I am going to kind of like just rattle that one off this week, just to see what it, just to see how quickly it goes together. not going to do it tonight, but that is quite beautiful. That it's don't care for the real vehicle, but I do like what it represents. Not very nice, but in terms of a kit, that's actually quite impressive. So interesting.
What it represents, not a massive fan. However,
funny enough, no, absolutely not a massive fan. But there we go. So that was the little craft shop in just off Hill Road in Clevedon. So
there you go. How was the model shop in general? Was there good stock otherwise?
It was okay. I mean, it was a craft shop, so they've got kind of other things going on. But I was just really surprised to see some ICM stuff in there. So I thought, well, we'll bag one of them and see what that's like. And but it's ICM. We know what it's going to be like. It's going to be beautiful. So I mean,
again, I mean, ICM. You chart ICM's history from the mid '90s when they were it was a bit they were rough around the edges, shall we say. Then around 1999 the Spitfires came out and they were very, very complicated, but with a bit of care I built a half a dozen of them. It was a beautiful Spitfire Mark 789. It just took care, and then they went through a little stage of sort of copying Mustangs from other people and slightly changing them up, and then sort of 2009 2010 they really they knuckled down and got on with it, and since sort of 2013 2014 they've rarely put a foot wrong,
rarely dropped the ball, have they?
No. And I mean, obviously for me it's mainly their aircraft kits, but I have absolute confidence in their aircraft kits.
Well, I have absolute confidence in their armor kits because I built the Laughley last year, and what a kit that was! What a kit that was! And I would say anybody who's never built an ICM kit, especially some of their recent stuff, buy with confidence.
Owe it to yourself.
Owe it to yourself. I'm just having a look to see here if I've got anything. No, I haven't got anything else here. But yeah, that's quite tidy. That it
just looks like something that'd be really fun to build in an evening and then spend a few days enjoying the heck out of painting it.
Yeah, apart from the fact that obviously, it's kind of like, and did you enjoy building your high-ranking Nazi staff car? Not really, no. But then again, how is that any different from people building Panzers and Tigers? And
well, it's not, is it? Essentially, it's we make our own moral decisions, and as we've discussed on this show before, I won't build a Stuka of Rudell's Stuka. I just won't. But we all make personal decisions, and let's be honest, there's not many people were as repeatedly victims of both the Soviet Union and the Germans, the Nazis, and the Ukrainians. And they're and if they see a market opportunity for something like that, and go with it,
absolutely,
they're coping. Why shouldn't we?
No, absolutely. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for more of these snap fit kits from ICM. But yeah, I'm very impressed. And I will hasten to add, suitably impressed. And I will hasten to add that was £12.99 of my earth money that came out of my pocket. So I'm not bigging up anybody for a freebie or anything. That was my money. So anyway,
I mean, basically everything I've shown in the last few months has been my own money. So I'm spending my own money on stuff. So there's absolutely no, there's no compunction, even if there ever was, to lie about what we're getting.
No. So I don't know. I think I did mention this a few weeks ago, but I will just mention it again because this is another one that's on the things to build pile. And It's this. This is Saber, and in cooperation with 1602, and this is a little German Hanamag RL20 tractor.
That's cute.
And yeah, literally, it is a little tractor. It's like Herr Gruber's little tank.
You've liked your tractors recent years, haven't you?
I like my tractors.
You liked your tractors, you do.
I like my tracks. And yeah, this I'm going to build this one as well. I'm just waiting for it to warm up a bit at the moment because I can't, even though I'm out here in the workshop in the house now, it's still too cold for me, and it's playing havoc with my health, quite frankly. But never mind, put the tiny violins away, people. But no, this looks disarmingly simple. It doesn't look like it's got a particularly high parts count on it. Let's just give me a solo spot here for a second. Here we go. This doesn't look like it's got a particularly high parts count, but do not be fooled, because again, there are a number of things in this which will slow you down and have you kind of like working on this for several evenings. I think is a good way of putting it. Probably about a week's worth of cleanup and assembly. But
that much, really?
Yeah, I'd say so. But I would say it's a beautiful little kit, though. It's absolutely stunning. And yeah, I'm hoping, he said, hoping to kind of actually start work on a couple of these over the weekend now that I've kind of like broken the back of the day job. Hopefully I can reclaim my weekends again now. So yeah, so this is it's, like I say, this is Saber. They also do some other things as well. They do some German wagons. They do railway platforms. They do flatbeds. They do a kind of like a diesel or petrol wagon as well.
Where are they
all
from?
Good stuff. You what?
Where are they from?
I think that's a good point. Produced by Saber Model. They're from China, apparently.
Oh, really?
Oh. They're from China, me old China. So, but I'll just show you the instructions. I mean, instructions are beautifully done. And if this is anything like the 1402 kit that I built, 1602 rather, which was that gun that I built year before last. I mean, it looks simple, but you can get bogged down with detail and things. But I like this. I like this very much. And yeah, no, we'll slap this together. I'm just having a look to see what color schemes there are, and there aren't that many. You can either finish it in dark grey or sand, and that's it. So
fairly sort of early mid-war German then.
Yeah, I think this would look good in a German dark grey, but with lots of mud on it. So brilliant, absolutely first class. It's yeah, I like that. I like that very, 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 very much. And like I say, that was bought with my own money, so I'm not bigging that up for anybody. That is my own honest assessment. That so there we go.
Although it should be said that even when we have been supplied stuff in the past, it's still been an honest assessment, just to be clear.
Always an honest assessment. Yeah, absolutely. Right. I'm just having a quick look at the time here. I think we've probably got about another 20 minutes.
I'm beavering away on modelling here while we're talking.
John Patrick Huston says, I own a Mini Cooper, which some people love to tell me is German. Well, I'm part of that clan now, John. So, you know.
The Mini.
Exactly. Hobby Time says, Drew, any idea what the Italeri 148 scale Junkers 87 kits are like?
I think they're really nice, aren't they? They're one of they're one of Italeri's better efforts of recent years, shall we say? But the caveat there is that I've never actually seen one, because I don't think have they done D's and R's at all, or G's, or have they just done? Sorry, have they done D's and G's, or is it just
yes?
B's
They've done
and
them
R's?
in 48 scale as well. Yeah,
They've done the late ones as well.
Yeah.
Oh right, I thought they'd only done B's and R's.
No, because the box art for the either the D or the G is best described as, it looks like it's a big wing Stuka, because it's just like really oddly distorted. Perspective. Actually, I'm going to go and find the artwork. Here we go.
That does ring a bell, actually, but yeah, again, I mean, Stukas are one of those things where I really like the sleeker D&R variants, but I'm not a huge fan of the. I like the A's. I like the first variant and the last variant, but everything in between sort of leaves me a little bit cold.
Yeah, it's the Italy. Oh, blimey! I've just pulled up the box art here. It's the Italeri Junkers 87 D5, and let's just bring this on screen. Yeah.
Excuse me.
That kind of.
Oh yeah, that's not good, is it? I seem to remember discussing this. Actually, didn't we discuss this back in?
I don't know, but that is comical. I think.
That is a comically bad piece of box art, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably based on an actual image, but something's gone seriously wrong with the perspectives and everything on that. That just looks weird.
Something's gone a little bit awry.
Something's gone a little bit awry. I'm sure the kit is fine, but no, that box art.
Yeah, like I say, I seem to remember the certainly the reviews I remember of the early ones. It was pretty nice. It was pretty positive reviews. So
yeah, that can best be described as a kind of like a big wing Stuka. And when you think that that even the Junkers 87D, the wing on that is still relatively slim, that is just comical.
It's grotesque, isn't it? It's
grotesque. Right, let's see if we can shoehorn in some new releases. Bearing in mind that I've not got anything set up here. So I've just got to try and remember what they were, or shall we leave them till Friday, till Sunday?
What were the new releases?
Well, that's a good point. I've forgotten. So that's a good start to the show, isn't it?
Spoiler, people, we're not doing the new releases. Anyway, I do apologise. I've been actually. I don't know whether people approve of me actually.
No, you carry on there.
Doing stuff while I'm chatting.
No, you carry on there. It's it lends the show a certain amount of credibility. The fact that
we used to speak, didn't we? We used to go on FaceTime and spend hours modelling at each other as we just chatted, and then it allowed us to do boring, repetitive stuff.
Yes,
and be distracted. So
I think we will do that live at some stage.
I
had my list of new kits here, and I can't remember what I've done with it now. I know. Right, hang about. Hold on, lads. I got an idea. I did actually ask the IMC crowd, and they did come back at me with a list. We're not going to go through. Back at me. We're not going to go through all of them this evening, but we will touch on some of the exciting highlights when I can find the page. There we go. Dum ba dum, diddly diddy, bum ba dum ba dum, dum dum ba dum, ba dum ba dum. Well, actually, we'll have a look at this. This is. Why not?
Well, actually, we'll have a look at this.
We'll have a look at this. This is ICM Hooray. And it is there.
Bit of a theme this week, I fancy.
Yeah, I think it is a bit. This is their Unimog. Come on, where is it? Oh, for goodness sake. There it is. There it is. It's the Unimog S404, and this is a German military ambulance. And as ever with ICM, that looks pretty tidy. Looks very tidy, actually.
That's a Unimog, so that's a fairly modern one, is it?
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, I like that. Although I have noticed, yeah, it doesn't have a Mercedes-Benz badge on it, but I'm sure modelers can source that from elsewhere. But I like that. That does look. That looks nice. That looks sharp. Yeah, I'm suitably impressed by that.
Yeah, I've always liked the Unimogs. I think they're great looking. They're great looking vehicles. They look kind of ahead of their time.
Yes.
You know, they had a very military vehicle look about them, which I really liked. They were used very, very widely in sort of electricity companies and gas companies and stuff like that. They used them a lot as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh god,
they were very good off-road vehicles.
Yeah. I'm just having a quick look down. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Right, and this was another new release, and here we go. This is Border Models. And this is their 35th scale Focke-Wulf 190D. It's a D9, I think.
Is it a D9? I thought it was an
A. Perhaps it's an A. It is there. Just says well. It probably is an A actually. But let's have a look. Yeah, this.
The more I see of these kits at the moment, the more tempted I am to get like the Stuka.
I think of the two, I'd be tempted to get the Focke-Wulf 190 because I do like the 190, but this does look tasty.
If they do, if it were a Dora 9, you'd have my attention. Put it that way.
I would say, excuse me. Again, you're up against that problem, which is it's that kind of modeler prejudice of are there enough aircraft modelers interested in building 35th scale?
Well,
aircraft?
I mean that was I have to be honest and say that was my prejudice. But the more I see of it, and the more determined they appear to keep doing it, you know, I mean, the more tempted I am to jump on board, shall we say?
I think I'd be tempted to jump on board and build one as a one-off model. I can't see myself building, you know, a number of them. Let's put it that way. Got to say though, the surface detail is absolutely spectacular. That is really, really lovely. That's really nicely done. And there's some nice details there for the gear bays and whatever, and the fabric on the control surfaces. Very nice engine there. Goodness me, almost worth displaying that on its own. Yeah, they're really pushing the boat out. Nice cockpit tub as well. They're really pushing the boat out on this. I just hope that there is enough of a market out there. Look at that. That's lovely. I just hope there is enough of a market out there of people who want 35th scale aircraft.
I mean, my sort of suggestion there is this is their third one, so you know,
I think
clearly somebody's buying them enough to to warrant that kind of investment in what looks like a superb tooling.
It all depends on how, whether they've got legs or not. But I mean, I'll credit Border. That's really quite spectacular. And again, I'm going to keep an eye out for one of these. See if I can get one at a decent price. But yeah, that
does look beautiful, doesn't it?
Does look very good, actually. Yeah, it's Powell Krupovich says the actual Unimog kit parts do have Mercedes logos on them. Okay, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. And we'll just have a look at one more thing from the news and see what we can find. I'm just going to try and we'll get this set up for Sunday, folks. Don't worry. It's not going to be completely amateurish like this. No, not most of the time anyway. It's going to be like this a lot of the time, but not.
Yeah, I was going to say, why change now?
Yeah, why change exactly? Let's have a look. Oh, no, we won't. We won't do that one. Oh yes, we had Trumpeter. You're right. Okay, let's dive into the Trumpeter / Hobby Boss new kits for 2023. And I've forgotten what people were talking about as being absolutely brand new. But what have we got here? We've got they are doing. Here we go. They are doing a. Come on. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. There we go. They're doing a excuse me. They're doing a brand new Lockheed Viking in 72nd scale.
Yes, please, and thank you.
Well, they've also got in 48 scale. Get your hearts ready to sink. They are doing a Fairy Battle and a Fairy Fulmer. Why do I get the feeling they probably think that they are pretty much the same aeroplane? I know.
Yes.
I'm trying to remain positive here.
Oh lordy, please no.
They've got a 24. I mean,
the problem is we've just got such a history of them with British subjects now.
Yeah.
That our complete lack of faith in them is not sort of is well placed.
They've also got 24 scale P51B/C and a Focke 190A. So that's interesting. And the 32nd scale Devastator, which I think they've announced that years before, but I think it might finally be coming to fruition this year, hopefully.
Yeah, there's quite a lot that's, I mean, like all of those Intruders and Prowlers have been, and the MiG-19. I mean, the MiG-19 was first announced in about 2008. So it's fair to say we have been waiting a long time for that MiG-19, and probably 7 or 8 years now for the Intruder. So
I'm just going to zoom in on the oops daisy, come on. I can't. Ah, dearie me. Trying to see what those ones were down there. Do you know what? We'll pick up on these at the weekend because there's too many interesting things that they're going to be doing. Of the other stuff they've announced is that they have announced a 48 scale B-24J. And they've announced a lot of 1/16th scale armor as well. So
Yeah, 1/16 scale armour's really picked up over the last few years, hasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll come back on Sunday and we'll go through the trumpeter / hobby boss lineup with a bit more detail, really, rather than trying to kind of rush through it ad hoc this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for tonight, Drew. Let me just any other business?
No, not from me. I've been beavering away, haven't I?
Oh, do you want to carry on doing some modelling, and we'll see if we can field some questions for Pete from people.
Yeah.
So
I'm
ask Uncle Drew, and he will do his best. He'll do his level best to answer your modelling correspondence.
cleaning up the rear fins on a 1/48 scale Maverick at the moment.
Have you seen Top Gun Maverick, by the way?
Yeah, I was going to say yes.
Okay,
I have seen it. Yes. It's pretty much exactly what you'd expect. It's a couple of hours of brain dead entertainment.
Yeah, that's pretty much the impression I've got from.
That doesn't mean it's not a good film, but you have to go in knowing what you're going to get, and this is a reason why. This is the reason why I quite like Avatar.
I can't get on with that. I can't get on with that at all. Just no, I can't do that. I can't do Avatar. No. Although it's got to be said, this is the point of the show now where we just start talking about our favourite films and television series. I've got to say, it's a brand new episode of The Mandalorian tonight.
Oh, God.
I know. So you'll be able to sit there and throw popcorn at Grogu. You've been watching. Have you been watching the last?
Can I not throw napalm at him instead?
Okay. Have you been watching the final series of Picard?
No. Again, I checked out of that during the second series. I kind of just went.
This has found its feet within the first couple of episodes. It's absolutely stellar. It really is, if you pardon the pun. This is what it should have been from the word go. So
as long as it's not Interstellar, eh?
God, don't. Let's not go down there. Question from Gordon J, and he says, "Question: Does Drew contribute to any magazines?"
Not now. No, I used to. I used to do for Model Airplane International. I used to do articles for, and I've done some articles for some other magazines in the past. But no, not now. This is pretty much it for me, and has been for last 5 years, I suppose. I suppose it must have been 5 years since I was last a published author. I got tired of it. It kind of
can be a bit of a treadmill, can't it?
It can, yeah. It rapidly started to feel like a bit of a treadmill, and so I kind of backed out of it, if you like. And now I just do well. Now I'm not even really doing anything for manufacturers these days, so it's just all down to I do what I want when I want, and that's pretty much it these days. It's just it's sort of reverted largely to being just a hobby now, which arguably is what it should be anyway.
Yeah. We got some Crazy Locust says Drew. I lost where it was. Crazy Locust says Drew. I forgot where it is. The Reed Air Publications A10 reference is now second edition and 180 pages and ordered. Thanks for the recommendation.
It is I was looking. Oh. Also, if you can find that. That is a fine book from about 1983, 84, but it really covers the early years of the A10 very, very nicely indeed. And I've got
that, and I got that from a bookshop in it was Reading or somewhere. I went to stay with my grandparents back in the long ago in the 80s, and there was a bookshop there, and they had all that, and I cleaned them out of those books.
I also found that.
Oh, is that Bunrindu?
Sorry?
Is that Bunrindu?
I don't think so. No, I think it's
Koku fan?
It's not Koku fan, but no, it's typically 80s Japanese.
Mm.
You know, it's
Very nice.
beautifully produced. Lots of really good photographs. Pre-production A10s. So, but it's very, very. In fact, it's showing its age, and a lot of the pages are. The glue sort of the glue perishes, doesn't it? And they just sort of so, but yeah, I was just looking tonight, looking through for some stuff.
Well, that's an interesting question from Dave, and I just need to go and check that. Dave is asking. He says, "Is the MPC Eagle the old Airfix released one? Depends what kit it is, Dave, because if it's the 72nd scale kit, then yeah, that's probably the old MPC one, which Airfix reissued. But whereas the 48 scale one that's a brand new kit. You know, that's very recent. So I'll check into that. But I think the smaller 72nd scale ones will be the MPC ones that Airfix issued back in the 70s. Not their own tooling, folks. So people who go, "Oh, why not Airfix reissue their Eagle Transporter and the Hawk?" That wasn't theirs. It wasn't theirs to release. So, so Dan says, "Where's the best place to buy? Where's the best place to get MRP paints? Tried to buy some today, but struggled to find suppliers with stock."
If I'm honest, I haven't bought MRP paints since Brexit came into, because I used to get them direct from Europe. I used to get them direct from Slovakia, and I haven't since Brexit. So because I moved away from using MRP paints anyway, although I still have a large shelf full of them. But I can't help you really. I don't know. I know there are UK importers.
Question from Alan Richardson. He says, "Drew, another paint question. The heritage paint scheme you are doing on the A10, do you know why they chose that shade of dark green and not the original Southeast Asia dark green?"
Bluntly, availability and not caring enough.
Fair enough.
I hate to be, because when they shortly after that, there was that Texas F16 in the Southeast Asia scheme as well, and that's all the correct colours. So 34079 is still available as a colour, as a federal standard match colour. So I think it was literally availability, or somebody didn't do their research properly, which isn't particularly rare where US Air Force anniversary and commemorative schemes are concerned, is it? You know, I'm half expecting at some point there'll be an A10 in European one as a commemorative scheme, and they'll get the colours wrong.
A lot of assumptions, let's put it that way.
Well, there's a lot of assumptions and absolutely no research. You know, I mean, the A10 scheme does kind of, it irritates me that it's the wrong colours. But it's still a nice scheme, so it's still going to look great on an A10. Because that green is probably my favourite shade of camouflage green, 34092. That's the colour they used, because it looks great on European one schemes. But yeah, availability and lack of research, simple as that.
I'm just seeing what if there are any more questions here that we can ping up on screen. I don't think there are actually. I think we are slightly out of time here. Sorry, folks.
We're 1:11, so it's not too bad.
Sorry.
We're over. We're nearly an hour and a quarter. So
Yeah, an hour and a quarter. So I don't think folks can feel shortchanged, even if they didn't have quite as much as me on the show tonight because I was faffing around trying to get the feed to work. But apart from that, here we go. Phil Jones says premium hobbies in Western Supermare for your MRP.
There you go. An MJR model. Yeah, I know MJR kept some. Kept the range.
Yeah, it's a shame premium don't actually have a. I know it's going to sound silly that they don't have a retail store in Bristol, but on the other hand, I can't complain because I've got a model shop next door to my chiropractors. So
there you go.
And also, there's found another model shop in Western Supermare just off the boulevard. So I'm going to have to check that one out as well. So,
there we go.
Yeah, they've got quite a nice window display. So. Right, I think that's about it really. I've got to prep for another show now. That show. You around Sunday?
Yeah, should be. Yeah.
Oh, good, jolly good.
Yeah.
I am just going to say we are going to get that built at some stage or finished at some stage, but I have to go and see Mr. Farmer to try and get the missing bits that Marcus has got. So we will get around to finishing that off, and I'll get around to finishing off the Austin ambulance. It's honestly, folks, it is just a case of finding time to want to sit in a cold workshop, and also just I've get your tiny violins out now. I've had 2 blood tests in the last week to try and get to the bottom of what is wrong with me, and they can't find why I am suffering from a lack of energy. So they're going to do another test, oh joy, to try and find out what that is. So I got to say, even the doctor, when I was describing my symptoms, she went, "That's weird," and I thought, "Great, thank you."
Yeah. This didn't go how I expected.
Yeah, that's helpful. So
I know exactly what that is. Not that's weird. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it would be helpful. They just went, yeah, you've got this, you got this, you got this. I still think, given how this really manifested itself once the cold snap came along, I think it's something to do with the cold weather, and it's just playing havoc with my kind of like circulation, really, for want of a better phrase. So anyway, don't worry, folks. I'll be here on Sunday. Obviously, if I don't make it to Sunday, then Drew will start divvying out my stash, and you can put your claims in. So there we go.
After I pick through it, obviously.
No, honestly, it's just annoying because you know me, Drew. I love the winter. And the winter is when I'm usually really, really massively active. But since I had COVID back in September, thought I got over it. But once the cold weather came along, boy, it's caught me out. It's that line in Hemispheres. The winters came along or something, and something like that. Anyway, it's not fun because I'm usually, when it's cold, I'm out walking in all weathers, and I've not been able to do that this year. But with a bit of luck, they'll get to the bottom of it and sort it out. But likewise, I just haven't had the appetite to sit in the cold workshop either. So, make of that what you will. Anyway. Here we go. Gordon J, too many models, too little time. Yeah, tell me about it. And Sean Smith says, well, the main chieftain is back on suddenly, want to build it and get it done.
Yeah, I've got one nearly fully assembled up there. I must get back to that at some point.
Well, my finish at February didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, but I will try and get try and get that ambulance out of the way, and also the also, what's the other thing I was building? Come on, Drew, help me out. The ambulance, and there was something else. That thing. Oh, the comet, yeah, obviously. And now it's been announced. I am looking forward to building one of the Airfix. What's its names? The not Reliant Robins, Bond Bugs. I'm really looking forward to building one of them. So I am stoked to build one of them. So anyway, right, folks, that's your lot. That's your lot. We'll be back on
Sunday.
Thank you. It's not funny. It's my brain is just this mush at the moment. More mush than it usually is. We'll be back on Sunday. Until then, it just remains for. Oh yeah, Downward says Tempo Escort. Yeah, we've got. I am going to be doing some work on that as well. So yeah, don't worry. I just need to get my brain into gear. Anyway, we will be back on Sunday. Until then, it just remains for me to say thank you for watching. God, why really? Go and watch The Mandalorian. Go and do something good with your time tonight, or Picard indeed. And we'll be back on Sunday. And so from myself and Drew, we'll see you then.
Take it easy, y'all.